How's it going, everyone? This is Dave from wetflyswing.com, and today I'm going to show you how to tie my version of a fish taco. And it's pretty much what the typical version is, but my little swing on it. But we're using some Pro tubes here, and these little guys. And actually, I guess we can turn this way and see the size. These are just large tubes. And we're going to slide that on right there. And these things are handy because they stick on just like that. And then we're just going to start our thread base here. And what you want to do is when you go to the back, we want to leave a little room in the back if we want to put on some junction tubing. So we're going to start right there. Cut this off. I'm just going to wrap back and do a little bit of a thread base, and then up front too we're going to bring it, stop right about there because we don't want to go past that point. And this fly is a little more sparse than some winter steelhead flies, so it's going to fish really well, especially in maybe some conditions that, where you don't need the big monster intruder fly. And we're going to use some Estaz. Tie a little butt in here. I'm just going to go two wraps of that. And then, so we get our little butt there. That's a little spot. And then we're going to grab just some medium oval tinsel. Tie that in. And one trick you might try doing, I don't think it's totally critical in some flies, but if you tie all of your materials in on the top, it'll create kind of an egg shape. And I'll leave a note in the comments to Peter Charles, some stuff he put together on this. But it's kind of an interesting way to keep the fly basically from being round. You want it more of an egg shape. And that keeps, basically it keeps the top of that egg, keeps your fly riding the way you want it to ride without it turning and twisting. We're just going to use a little bit of black yarn here. And then one more thing, we're going to throw on a black hackle. This will help a little bit with the later on in the fly. We're putting things together. So again, I'm going to throw this right on top. Try to keep that egg pattern idea going. And then we'll go up there, and we're just going to take this black. And you can use, for the body, you can use whatever black you want to use. If you want to use, some dubbing, that's fine. We're going to start with this one, just do a little black layer here. We're going to go back here to give us plenty of room. We'll stop right there. We'll put on our hackle. There's obviously lots of different ways you can look at some of the other videos we have as far as the wrapping the black hackle, but I'm just going to do a typical quick easy black hackle wrap. Cut that off, and kind of pull that back, and then we're going to counter wrap the tinsel to kind of secure, to help secure the thread. Just go right through there. Get this one out. There we go. It's going pretty easy. Just like that. I'll go right up to the front. Nice, and it actually looks nice. That's the thing about using kind of old, just black yarn. It doesn't have a lot of flash, so there's a lot of good contrast between the tinsel and the yarn. I like that, especially on this one. So we're going to wrap this, make sure this is really good here. And so we'll trim off the shorts here. So now we just got your basic pattern. And what makes this pattern is going to be the next piece here. And so what we want to do is grab some ostrich, just some black for this one, black ostrich. And you know, we're going to do this with some flash, so you can put either the flash on first or the ostrich. I like to put the ostrich on first, so I'm just going to grab a good, you know, half a dozen strands to start off with. And I'm going to pull these out and kind of even them up. Make sure to look at where I'm going to put them. So I got a couple of long ones. I'm just going to pull these shorter ones out to get them out close to the same length. It's about like that, so we'll start there. And you can spin this on. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I'm just going to tie this on the top and kind of spin it. I'll put one here. You can just do a loose wrap. And then just kind of, actually, what I do is just put these on and kind of just push it over a little bit so it kind of covers the area. So that gives us one. And we're just going to kind of cover the fly. I'll cut this off. Get that off. We'll get some more, get another half a dozen. So you can see we're just kind of doing a half a dozen. As we go. And these will go kind of more on the side here. Sure they're similar in length, pretty close. They don't have to be perfect. About like that. Same thing, I'm going to kind of spread it around like that. Tie those in. And then I'm going to do the same. You see now it's kind of looking like a wing, but I'm going to put some on the bottom as well. Another half a dozen. Or so, and these are going to go down here more on the bottom. Wrap it like that. Now we're kind of getting a nice full, and this is really what makes it the fish taco. Got these nice hackle, or these nice fibers that are just surrounding it, and it keeps it light but gives it a lot of movement. I'm going to do one right on the bottom here, down here, just like that. Plenty of room. So now I'm going to go back and cut all this off. This stuff's really easy to work with, and it's in fishing with it, it just gives it all that movement that we're always looking for. So you can see that's just your basic. Got it pretty well covered as far as the black here. Now we're going to go back, and you can see when that sits down, it's going to cover, and the hook's going to trail back here. Now we want to put on some purple flashabou. Throw a little purple flashabou here. And this one we're going to cut off as far as amount. This is always tough to say, but I'm going to get if I had to guess, I would say, you know, 20, 30 strands, something like that. In that range, maybe. It's always tough, maybe 20. I'm just going to put that right on top, about the same length, back towards the back as the others. Then I'm going to spread it like this, just spread it around. Basically, I'm using it to spread around the entire fly. And then I'm going to do a loose wrap on top to secure it. There you go. And pretty much got it spread around. And what you can do is, if you didn't get it spread around enough, you can take some of these down here and bend them back and put them back where you want them. So I'm going to put some on the bottom here. Maybe grab a couple of these and put them over here. So now I got it pretty full, and I'll cut off the extra. And then you can see that. Then I'll do the same. Just this a little bit so we can get a little bit better out. There we go. Pretty good. So we're using, again, I'm using these Pro tubes. Just get a look. Yep. You can see on this one, okay, so now we are getting ready to put our next, getting some flash on there. Looks pretty good. A little bit of blue Flashabou. I guess I could show you the numbers right there. And we're going to do the same thing, just put about the same amount. Grab a clump here. I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of spread it around. This Flashabou is great stuff because it pulses and is very limp, and just looks really good in the water. So we're going to put that on. Same thing, we'll look around. I'll probably put a little bit down here on the bottom. So we're not really making, like, you know, we're just making a full, it's not really a wing. It's kind of a full fly all the way around with the materials. I guess the taco, I'm not sure. I'll have to provide a link here to the fish taco history. As far as I know, Jeff Hickman invented it, but as far as, you know, the taco name and all that stuff. Yeah, we're getting there. So now we got our Flashabou. It's looking good. So the next part here is just a little bit of black crystal flash. I'm just going to take off, strand wise, let's see here, what am I going to do? It's probably, I want to say about the same, maybe a little less. We're going to go probably more like 20 strands or less. Might be, maybe 15 is even better. You could probably go 10. And this one I am going to stick right on top as kind of a wing. So you can see I'm just going to put that right on top. And again, going back to what I noted earlier about Peter Charles and having the materials on top, this one will have a little bit of an egg because there will be more materials on top than there are at the bottom. And like I said, on this one, if you want to add a little more, you can always bend back and add the materials that way. So there's that. And now we're just going to add a little bit of a hackle. And this hackle, and before we do that, we're also going to add, this is, I guess, probably wasn't on the original pattern, but I like to throw in for a little contrast. We're just using this little dyed grizzly hackle here, but I'm going to put a couple of these guys on the side. Again, about the same length. These are going to go back to about where your hook is going to sit. put one on there. I'll do the same, about the same length in the back. There. This is going to blend in really nicely, right, with the hackle. Because what we're going to do is leave plenty of room here for our head. You see it starting to get built up a little bit, and that's fine because we're going to cover that up. We're just going to grab it from the same dyed blue grizzly. We're just going to throw on a little hackle up front, again just for a little bit more of that contrast. The blue and black and a little bit of purple is pretty sweet. So just throw that on right there. Throw another one right there. That just gives us that little couple of turns of that. Make sure this is all trimmed up. There we go. Then we'll just kind of come back. And what we're going to do to finish this up, to give it a little bit of a hot spot up front, which always I do like doing on a lot of patterns, is give it that little egg sucking piece. To do that, we're going to do a switch here. Just finish up the head for the most part. Just like that. I can go a little further back. And that gives us our nice little taper. Let's tie this off right here. 1, 2. So we'll cut that off. So we're looking good there. And then we're just going to throw on a little bit of this red. Just like I said, to give it that little hot spot. Just like that. Pull this back. Just cover that up. And now we've got kind of a little bit of an egg sucking leech style. Just like that. Gives us that nice little spot that the fish love, can love. Cover that up just like that. There you go, about good enough. And we'll just do a little whip finish here. There you go. Get that off. So now you can see we got our basically our fish taco with, you can see the hack underneath and a little bit of a hot spot, and that's how you do it. And the next step is really you pull off your tube and you come with the razor blade, cut it off right there, and with a lighter you just burn this back. You can see we'll probably have another video later on that to get it ready to go, but that's essentially it. And so this has been Dave from wetflyswing.com, and if you have any questions, stop on by and give a holler and we'll check in with you there.